me from another video. If you're joining me for the first time, hello! I've had my happy mail arrive. My friend has super shouted me to not one, but two smart dolls. Smart dolls are a Japanese doll developed by Danny Choo. They are gorgeous. They are very anime style. They are not considered ball joint BJDs. They have ball joints, but as many of you authentic BJD collectors will know, there are specific rules. I'll have a link to Den of Angels below and a little expert on why they're not considered BJDs, and also the wiki link. And I'm not going to go over all that because honestly, I want to focus on these dolls. So both of them have come in these gorgeous keep calm and carry a smart doll bags. I love these bags. They're actually like in a starched material, so they're very strong and you can carry your dolls around them easily. They're absolutely gorgeous. Now, I am not a newbie to this line because, ta-da! You can see I already have 5 smart dolls. That's a Kiki Pop down there. She's just here because she's gorgeous and I didn't want to throw her in here. And I think I've got a Zone Fairy in the background there, an authentic one. These dolls here are my girls. I have openings to them all. I will have links in the description if you wish to see which ones. I also will have links on the non-official clothes. You can see that 3 of my dolls, and if you don't know anything about my dolls, 3 of my dolls are in official smart doll clothing. I'll quickly go over which ones I have. I have Genesis here in Cinnamin. I have Moment here in Cinnamin. This is a discontinued skin tone here. This is Starlight in Milk. I have Coco here, Coco Skin, and she is I always call her Serena by her name. She is Smart Doll Justice. And then I have in the T-tone Smart Doll Monday, who is somewhat referred to as the nose picking doll, as she is the doll with nostrils. And I'm going to add 2 new girls. Now I'm not sure which one's which, I just kind of plonked them there, but one of them will be in the Cocoa tone. I absolutely love Reflection, so I've chosen Smart Doll Reflection, and the other one will be in the Cinnamon tone, which is now the lightest tone, as Milk's been discontinued, Smart Doll Felicity. I don't know which one's which, so I'm just going to choose the bag closest to me and bring it forward. I'll move the other bag to the side and then let's get to opening. Okay, so when you get your smart doll, generally they come in these really snug boxes. Like the bags are basically built to fit the boxes. There's no padding or anything around the bag. All padding for the doll is inside. And let me tell you, these bags are gorgeous. I love, love, love these bags. So you can see it has Keep Calm and Carry a Smart Doll on the front. Smart Doll, designed by Danny Choo, CJ. On here and here, which is Culture Japan, and let's dip it down. Who am I opening first? The way to tell who it is over here is they have a Japanese symbol and the name of the doll. So you can see here, whoop, that I assume the symbol, no one's ever, I've said this in another video, I assume it's a symbol, no one's ever corrected me. That means what the English is underneath, which is Reflection, and then you get a box. Now, if this is your first smart doll video, the box basically holds all your extras. It holds all the smart doll clothes you've ordered, parts such as if you want to increase the bust of one of your girls, or buy a secondary hand pack for the girls, or there are elf ears if you're interested in elf ears. But I have only brought the basic dolls. So in the box will not be too much. However, these boxes are really nice, let me tell you, for storage. Get it open, ta-da! So as I said, I'm only going to have the basic pieces that come with the doll, no extras. So there is, oh my goodness. It is a lovely, long, wavy wig, very Moana-ish. If that could be made into a word, you know, Disney Moana, it's very Moana-ish. let's pull it out. And this is, as I said, a big reason I chose Reflection. I wanted another girl. I wanted a sister for Serena, Smart Doll Justice. Her name is Serena. I wanted a sister for her, and I wanted, so obviously I wanted the cocoa tone. And let's get this netting off. Now I have been in and checked these previous. Those who follow my Instagram will already have seen photos. I quickly take them out and then box them back up, make sure everything's okay, since I can't do my filmings generally on the days that I'm working. Let's have a look. Here it is, and turn it around. I just want you to appreciate how long this hair is. So here is my hand up here holding it, and look at it go right down my arm. Can I get it up and sprayed off my girls? Yeah, you can see it is just this beautiful dark brown wave. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love this wig. When I was deciding on the girls and I was picking out my favorites, that wig sold it for me. I was like, yeah, that's I gotta have it. There's no question. Then standard with each Smart Doll is a telescopic leg, which is basically something that goes into a slot at the back of the Smart Doll and comes down and acts basically as a third leg to stand her up. Smart Dolls are pretty smart, however, in that they can stand up by themselves. This look at as an additional support. So we get that. You get your magic eraser. Now Coco girls are prone to shine marks, so definitely that's part of the reason I'm wearing gloves here. So things like, you know, on certain plastics and certain book types, you have to be very careful if you wear gold rings. They are prone to, if you rub them or against something that disagrees with them, they can get shine marks, which is why I'm very, very careful with my Coco girls. Now this comes with all your Smart Dolls. This is Mariah. This is Danny's doll that he basically created, which started off the whole Smart Doll craze. And then a welcome to Smart Doll underneath. And, you know, it just shows a bit of his humor. And that is all in this box. Let's get to the main event. She's in there. Can I pull her out? Come on, my darling, you can do it. It's like giving birth. Welcome to the world. I've seen so many of your Instagram things where you have the girls like looking out of the boxes after you've got them. It's so incredibly cute. So this bag here will be my 6th bag. I love them all. I may give one away as a freebie to some people I know who collect dolls, just because they're such gorgeous doll bags. Oh, she's almost going to fall over there. Now, when they come in the bag, they basically come in what I call the cyborg processing line pose. They look like they're about to, you know, come off a production line. They're all in the same pose, all with their feet spread out. Their arms are behind their back, basically with their things sprayed. And a part of the reason they need to do this is because when you go, these are big dolls. That is an adult female arm, and it's pretty much reaching from my fingers to my shoulders. So, you know, if you stretch out your arms, you can see the length of them there. All right. All right, I've only seen her briefly. So this will be super duper cool. Opening. Plop. And then once you've got them out of the bubble wrap, as I said, all the protection for the doll is inside the bag. You then have this long plastic bag. I'm gonna wiggle her down. And she's like, waiting to come alive. Ta-da! Oh my goodness, you're so beautiful. She is absolutely beautiful. Now we're going to focus in on her. I'll bring the camera in so you can see that all-important face. And here she is up close. She is absolutely beautiful. You will notice that her eyes are that orangey brown, much like Smart Doll Justice's, except she has a more closed eye and definitely a more mature paint job to her, which is what I wanted. I wanted an older sister for Serena. Let's bring her up so you can see the makeup even closer. She has, I think it's a pink. It's either a pink or a peach just above her eyes in a eyeshadow. She has very short eyelashes above and below her eyes. Her eyebrows are long and quite thick in the middle. Not much blushing on her lips, just a soft hint. Now her mouth is wider than Serena's by quite a bit, and I think Serena's blushing is more dominant. She has more of a toned down look to her, and definitely she looks the older sister type. Knows better, pretty much, which is what I wanted. Now, something which I've noticed on this head, which I haven't noticed on my other dolls, and maybe if you know more about Smart Dolls than me, can you tell me what GO2 stands for? I haven't seen that on my dolls. So I have no idea what that means, GO2. I know at the back of their neck, if you slightly twist their heads down, you get Mirai, which, as I said, is the doll which started it all. But I haven't seen GO2. Does that mean Generation 2, as in it's the second mold made for this doll name type? Isn't she beautiful? Coming down to here, now as I said, they have ball joints, but they are not considered ball jointed dolls as they are not strung. Beautiful articulation in these dolls. You can move them right up. So if you look at the elbow joint here, fantastic. And all the rotation and movement in the hands. You can change the type of hands you want. You can have gripping hands. You can have kitty meow meow, Nico hands. You can have hands that are pointing and waving goodbye or saying the victory sign. I've shown those in other videos. All Smart Dolls come with a standard undie set, basically. Some come with a grey, I believe is the new color. I saw posts about that, but all my dolls have come with the standard white sports bra and undies. Coming down to here, you can see on the back, this is where the tripod stand goes pink, to give you extra support when needed, especially in those rocky places. As if there's anything I know about Smart Doll owners, we love our photographs. Sometimes when I'm at work and I'm in between clients coming in and things, I just put hashtag Smart Doll on Instagram. If you're a doll lover, I suggest you do it and just go through all the photos. They are such beautiful dolls to photograph. Looking at her lovely thick thighs here, I'm so glad that the thighs have a natural thickness to them. They look so good. Again, you're going to have all the movement. You can ninja kick to the side, you can bring them forward, you can bring them back. You have your knee movement here, and you have your ankle rotation and movement on that ball joint there. So you can pose your girls in a wide range. But my girl here, she's looking a bit bald. They have those big bulbous noggins. She wants her hair. Let's get her ready. Here is my angel with her wig on. Isn't she beyond beautiful? Now, if you're looking for wig tips for Smart Dolls putting on, certain Smart Dolls are harder to get their wigs on. I always recommend reading the Smart Doll site. Danny is basically a no-nonsense producer as far as I'm concerned. He has, such as he had on Genesis, that, you know, the wig was going to be harder on. And he basically says when there's issues with dolls you need to worry about, such as shining on the cocoa. And he expects you to read those things. Like, he's not a person that takes kindly, I'll say, to if someone purchases something and then complains about something that is quite clearly there in black and white written on his website. That's just kind of what I've got from always reading his Instagram posts and from reading his website. He highly values his staff, his artists, you know, the seamstress that put their hard work and time into making these dolls. There's quality checking on them. Just moving her around so you can see how beautiful this is. I mean, seriously, look at it. It's right down to her buttocks. This is a beautiful, beautiful wig. I can say easily, even though I've got all my girls in the background, this is my favorite hair wig so far out of all the Smart Dolls. To me, it is luscious, it is full. I love that wave. I love the highlights in the sun. I'm trying to put it towards the sun here so you can see the dark underneath and the light brown on the top. She is a stunner. I am so glad. Thank you, thank you, thank you to my best friend Matt. I know he'll check out this video. I don't tend to watch my videos. I think it's weird. Some people like to, you know, watch their videos several times over to pretend on the viewings, but what happens is that later on, YouTube comes along and deletes those so you can tell who does it. I think it's weird. Thank you so much, Matt. I absolutely love her. And I can't say it's all about her though, because I do have, reaching right across here, her friend and business partner to open here. So I love you, my dear, and I will get you dressed very shortly after your friend is opened. Do you understand, my darling? I'll be right back. Okay, so we're in for round 2. This is the second Smart Doll my friend called me, and in my story, the friend of reflection. I'll tell you their names at the opening of this doll. As before, let's move it down. So here we go, the gorgeous bag. Oh, this one's on the other side. That might actually be my fault because I look at them and I put them back in. So on here we see a Japanese symbol and then we see Felicity. But first we've got to move that good old box and find out what she came with, which again will be the basic things. I didn't buy any of the extra busts. If you want to see you know, openings or changing, on Monday I do an eye change for Smart Doll, Genesis and Moment. I do bust changes, so check those ones out. So we have Felicity's wig, which I chose her based on her anime faceplate rather than her wig. Her wig is a very grey color. It's a grey mixed with brown. So it's very interesting. I'll be interested to see how it looks on her. Then we have the telescopic lens. You will notice that the top is in a different color. This is because the tops of the telescopes stands are in the skin color of the Smart Doll you buy. And then we have another, hello, I'm Mariah and I started it all, doll. Then we enter the bag once more for the main thing, which is this Smart Doll, Felicity. Whoop, get that bag out of my face. And we start to get her out of her plastic. This is, if I pull this one, oh, that one's in there. Ah, she's hanging. It's like an alien or someone who's been caught by a trap with, you know, around their ankles. Then we'll go again. Feet first, my dear. Whee! Gotcha. I gotcha. And oh, this one has Mariah at the back. So remember she had Geo too at the back, which makes me think she's a Generation 2 mold maybe? Oh my goodness. Now you are definitely going to notice the difference in the head molds between these two dolls and their styles. Oh, let's bring it up. Now in differences, I'm not just talking the skin color here. Can you notice that the eyes are wider and definitely more in the anime style? I believe reflection is from what Danny refers to as the more realistic range. So she has, even though she's still in an anime style, she has more of a realistic anime look to her. You know, there's different anime styles. Whereas Felicity, you can definitely tell, is the magical girl Sailor Moon, I'm going to save the world, moon prism power style, you know, very, very girly. And the main reason I brought her is because of this open mouth smile. The closest doll, all my dolls have closed mouths apart from Moment, who has a tiny, tiny bit of her teeth showing. But Felicity is very, very open mouthed. And I just want to put to the side, is that 3D? It is, look at that. It's like a little chunk of her face is out. So her teeth are like, it's more of a 3D style mouth. It's not flat is what I'm getting at. There is an indent into her teeth. I didn't notice that. How cool. How cool is that? It definitely, because I was looking at her like this way off the side and I was thinking, that looks more realistic. So they've taken that extra bit in the head mold to give her an actual mouth that is open with her teeth inwards. That is a small detail. I love, love, love small details. You can see Felicity also has very gray eyes. So she's not blue, green, brown, all the standard eye colors. She has a gray to her. Another reason I picked her was her eye color is so unusual. And rather than small flecks of eyelashes, her eyes and her eyelashes are just off to the side, and she doesn't have them sprayed out like reflection. It's almost like her eyes have darker eyeliner over them rather than she has thick eyelashes. She also has more eye lines above. There is a lot of thought and detail into them. She has beautiful blushing on each cheek. Now, her body is exactly the same. As far as I know, other than the option parts that you can get for these dolls, their bodies are pretty much all the same. Developed the same way with the same internal skeleton. There is a skeleton within these dolls that moves, that offers them the realistic movement. They are not strung like ball jointed dolls. They are highly poseable and absolutely gorgeous. So let's get the wig on Felicity and have a look up close. Okay, I've got the wig on Felicity. Her wig is a lot more wild, which is weird because you'd think that Reflections one would be going everywhere, but Felicity's wigs actually took me a while to brush into a state where it didn't look like she'd woken up in the morning and had one too many drinks the night before. It is a longer wig. Most Smart Dolls have pretty long wigs. I think only Smart Doll Justice and Smart Doll Genesis that I have shorter wigs, and I don't believe he makes the short wig for Justice anymore. I think she has a long wig now, so sometimes, you know, it's just when you get them. One thing which I'm just going to show, if I get the camera out there, this is a really weird hair color. Can I get that in? It is like a medium gray with golden, antique gold tones. Can you see those antique gold tones in the light? It's bizarre. Like, I love it and I'm weirded out by it at the same time. It is a very unnatural hair color for such a young looking girl. She's beautiful. I like it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but definitely if you're looking at Felicity, I was expecting more of a light black in her hair, but it is definitely a grey with antique gold hues. That's unusual. However, I can't say anything wrong because she is beautiful. She adds another face type to my Smart Doll collection. And now I get to show you what I've been up to over the last it's about 2 weeks, I think, last 2 weeks. In between work, any chance I've got, I've tried to work on them, and I'll get into the story of these two really good friends. I'll be right back and I'll show you the artist's pattern. Okay, so I've got to give an artist her props. Luminaria, this is her. I'll have her Etsy shop link in the comment below. I primarily wanted to test this pattern for the dress, but there are two other elements to this pattern. There is this hat and this overcoat. Now I haven't made the overcoat yet. I've got the material over there on top of my sewing machine for when I get a chance. I don't always, you know, being a mum and working, I don't always get the opportunity to have a lot of free time. So I wanted a dress pattern which was easy to flow. So as soon as I saw this, I thought, yeah, this is something that would be very easy for me to recreate. But saying that, I am glad that I know how to sew costumes. Some of you will know with my daughter I've done cosplays, or with the Patchwork Princess we did last year, and my daughter won an honourable. She was the only one in her school who won honourable for the wearable arts for school, intermediate one for her school basically. I have to say, and the artist does say it, this is a pattern that is designed for someone who already knows the basics of sewing. There are steps which in between I could work out what I needed to do and what I needed to modify slightly to make something my way. If you are a beginner sewer, it would be good to have someone who can read the pattern with you and tell you, okay, just such as things, you know, she says to do a rough, you know, put through your pull string so you can pull it together. As a sew dressmaker, I know that I need to mark the center and the quarters to make sure they line up with the areas of the body. She doesn't have that in the instructions. I just know as a sewer that is what I do. However, I will say this, if you know the basics of sewing, this is a fantastic pattern for you. Once you have paid, the payment is processed, it goes on a digital download to your Etsy account and you can print out the instructions. As I said, it is for an intermediate sewer, so I would suggest reading through the instructions and filling in the steps that we do just automatically in our heads in between each step before you do it. So, with my girls, I love the dress pattern, by the way. I highly recommend her. You know, I think it was like $13 New Zealand. No problem, especially when you consider that, you know, the Smart Doll clothing costs. I'll have those, I've got those on my other videos, check those ones out. My girls, I decided, are going to be flower shop owners. These girls are friends, they're older girls than the girls in the background. Her being the older sister of Serena. I named them with the help of my family, sorting out the names. I had a whole list of names and we got them down to the two we liked. So Smart Doll Reflection shall now be known as Jasmine, and Smart Doll Felicity shall now be tongue-tied, shall now be known as Ivy. So Jasmine and Ivy, they're friends, they own a flower shop. In their flower shop though, they also offer potted vegetables and fruit, which is Jasmine's passion. She absolutely loves being self-sustaining. She loves her house to have a garden that bears things basically, such as apple trees and mandarins. It is her passion. She loves to put bows around them and sell potted plants, miniature potted plants, especially to places like apartments and things like that where they can't have a big garden, etc. That is her passion, a small miniature fruit and vegetable plants. So for Jasmine, I wanted to make something that reflected her passion, and I found this gorgeous material, which is a beautiful glitter material. There's glitter on those lemons, and since she likes fruit so much, the pattern itself is very easy to follow. On top of that, I put a lace around the bottom here, stitched with a zigzag on top and bottom. Then I hand stitched this little green, like the leaves. It's like I know Jay's used this on one of her dolls too, and I think it looks amazing. It's like this lace with these little like pom-poms, like tiny pom-pom lace. And then the thing that took me the longest out of the dress, I timed it. It took me just over an hour because I hand stitch a lot of things that people glue or say to glue, I actually hand stitch. So you can see around here, I've hand stitched all this in place, because if I had done the zigzag stitch down there, it would have pulled in like my darts here, it would have pulled them in and made them look a bit wonky. Hand stitch, but that's not what took me ages. These are actually a flower bead with a bead on top. Basically, I hand stitched all these little beads around here that you can see on the top and then the bottom. So I'm pretty fussy with my stitching and all that sort of stuff. So it took me ages. There was a small stitches in between to hold the pom-poms in place, and then I would go through the flowers and the thing. Anyway, when it came out, my daughter thought it was absolutely gorgeous. And I like it too, because it just adds that extra element of beauty, I think, to it, having those beads there on the top and the bottom. I hope you like it. The dress is done with sewn in little pops there. So 3 pops there, 1, 2, 3. And inside you can see where my ugly green hand stitching is. On there and on the bottom. Now this goes way down to here because we need it to have a gap where the telescope can still be inserted into the doll for standing up. This is the dress I made for Jasmine. Let's get it on her. Okay, I've got the dress on Jasmine here. I think she looks gorgeous. I think it goes so well with her, and it's completely within her theme. She looks happy to me. I love, love, love her. Felicity, Smart Doll Felicity. Oh, I've got to start calling her Ivy, her proper name now. She, in their little flower business, does the bouquets. Her passion is to take beautiful flowers and put them into bouquets and displays for, you know, her lovers to think that they're going for an anniversary to someone, or you know, on Valentine's Day, lots of roses to the one you care for and all this sort of stuff, or a pink flower bouquet for a new baby girl. So she loves, loves, loves flowers. And I had this material here in sunflowers, and sunflower is a bit of a queen flower in that it is so recognizable. It is so beautiful. I love it. So I didn't go so fancy in the middle part as I did with this one. However, at the bottom, I don't like glue, so I hand stitched, not the top part, all the bottom part. You can see hand stitching. I measured it all out so every stitch is exactly separated from. Took me years, donkey's years. I mean, I could have just gone with the machine, but I wanted to make sure that I got every layer and, you know, got to that stage where you saw the threads from the hand sewing inside that one, when you start to get fussy, so you cannot see anything wrong on the inside. It is all, you know, basically it's not going to fray, it's folded over and everything is even. So I got super fussy on this one. I'm going to make these girls a couple more dresses. I want to make Jasmine an apple dress, a dress with little apples on it. That would be so gorgeous. I love apples. And I want make maybe a rose dress for Ivy. So this is the second dress. Now, since I made this one second, I thought I would make the prototype of the hat for the second dress so I can master it for the first dress, if that makes sense. And I tested the pattern and it is gorgeous. I've certainly learnt from this one, especially around the circle. But see, my circle's pretty okay, but it's not as circular as I would like it to be. So here is the hat. It was very, very easy. the instructions for the hat. I read them once, said, oh, okay, all right, I got it. And I pretty much didn't need to read them again. Once I'd read them once, I went to my sewing machine and I knew exactly what I had to do. It is made with a felted material, and then you take the material from your dress to use as a trim, which is folded under and then sewn in a zigzag along here. I learnt from this one to be very, very careful with catches. There is one catch over here, which I've then hidden with a certain stitch, semi-hidden. I can still see it. You may not be able to see it, but I can certainly still see it over there. And then you basically make a tube, which you can then put a safety pin through, or if you've got like a poker, you can poke it right through and do that all around here, sew that into here with hiding with a little, whoops, if it wants to get in there, so you can hide the ugly stitches holding this in with, you know, a little ribbon or flowers, or as you can see I've done flower and ribbon and a little heart dangly there. Very, very easy, I will say this. I might do a video if I get in the chance to basically do a sew a pattern with me video, so we can do that pattern together as I go through the next dresses. Let's get it on her and see how it looks. Okay, so I've got Ivy dressed in her little flower get up there. I think both girls look gorgeous and I have them holding their hands here. I highly recommend this pattern. As I said, you do need a basic understanding of sewing before you go into it, or at least have someone on hand who can help you fill in the missing little steps that need to be done. Other than that, they're lovely smart doll dresses. I do not think that the dress will fit most of my 1-3 BJD dolls. My girls have bigger busts than the smart dolls. I don't think these dresses will be made for, say, the large bust or the push-up bra bust for smart dolls. They're just going to fit the average ones. You would need to make bigger darts. If you're, you know, that way skilled, you would have to make bigger darts here. It's a small modification, but it's something that if you're a newbie, I would say stick to the basics at the moment and get it done. But I like them. I think they're gorgeous. I'm so thankful to my best friend who has allowed me to expand my collection of 5 into 7, especially giving me another Coco girl option, because I am so looking forward to making her an apple dress. I think with her skin tone, a gorgeous red and maybe Granny Smith apple dress will look absolutely gorgeous. Now, to a viewer of mine who was talking about, you know, ball jointed doll pets are very expensive, you know, simulation pets. I do have some simulation pets. I quickly went, because I can't get to my storage at the moment, I do have behind with some of my American girls, this is a simulation dog here. So, you know, you can get simulation pets, which are basically these animals that are made to look realistic, that are covered in fur, but they do not have the joints of BJD pets. But you can use them as props. Doesn't that look gorgeous? I know this has been a long one. I hope you enjoyed the journey. I hope you enjoyed Jasmine and Ivy. They are so happy to meet you. Hi! If you love smart dolls, please give this video up, or dolls in general, a thumbs up. If you love dolls in general, please subscribe. We love to open dolls here. Well, we love to open toys here, I should say. And we love to share. And welcome my girls to my big family. Oh, Genesis, we can't see her. She's like stretching behind there with her... Yeah. Poor Genesis. See you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye.